Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mr. Jamal.
We have a very, very special visitor here today. So we have Baltimore City's mayor, Mayor Pugh. So can we give her a good warm welcome?
Good morning, Mr.
How are you all doing? Good.
So she's here to read to you guys today. I know a lot of you are involved in the Reading Partners program, and we're really excited with what we're seeing. So she has come here to join us today, and will be sharing a story with you as part of our celebration for Black History Month, and as part of our work together to make sure that we're spending time and doing the hard work of reading every day. So
are we reading every day?
Yes.
How many books have we read?
2.
How many?
I read
2?
5.
I heard somebody said 20?
That was me.
20 books. Wow.
I read 10 books in 2 days.
10 books in 2 days. Wow. How many?
I read 2 chapter books.
So I chose this wonderful book. It's called The Great Migration. On the cover of this book, it's an illustration by one of my favorite artists. Anybody here artists? What does an artist do? What does an artist do? Paint pictures.
An artist is the person that draw. So our Black History Month pictures.
Okay. Anybody over here?
A artist is a good drawing.
Good. All 3 were great, wonderful answers. So anyway, he's one of my favorite artists, and the artist who illustrated this book is called Jacob Lawrence. And Jacob Lawrence, this book is called The Great Migration. Does anybody know what migration means?
It's like when you migrate.
Okay.
When migration is when something moves to one place to another.
Very good.
Migration is like a bird's. If it gets cold, a bird can go somewhere where it's very hot.
Okay. Movement. Yes.
I think migration is when you can move somewhere to another place in another place.
Great answers. Great answers. All of those answers are correct. And so I'm going to begin to read. This is called The Great Migration. So this book is illustrated, as I said earlier, by Jacob Lawrence, who is a wonderful, wonderful artist. And around the time that he was born, many African Americans from the South left home and traveled the cities in the North in search of a better life. He says that his family was a part of this great migration, so that's what everybody said was correct. It meant that you moved from one place to the other. His family lived in the South, and so they migrated. There was a shortage of workers in northern factories because many had left their jobs to fight in the First World War. Does anybody know about the World Wars? Okay, some different hands here.
Well, a world war is like when some countries had war with each other.
Yep.
And they
Good.
fight.
Good answer. So this was the First World War when families started to move from the South to the North, and they moved because that's where the jobs were. Northern industries offered Southern blacks jobs as workers and left them money to be repaid later for their railroad tickets. The northbound trains were packed with recruits. How many people been on a train? Ooh. Where'd you go?
I went to my grandma's house.
I went downtown.
Okay.
I used to go many places on trains because when I used to live with my mother, she didn't have a car, so we used to travel on trains or subways.
Okay. Went to the dentist on the train.
We used to go downtown to the Lexington Market.
Okay.
I traveled on the train
To the White House. Ooh. To the White House. Back there.
Florida.
Florida on the train. Wow. And where did you go on the train?
Carnival.
Carnival. Okay. Nature had ravaged the South. Floods ruined farms. The boll weevil destroyed cotton crops. Anybody know what the boll weevils were? Boll weevils were like bugs. They got all into the cotton crops, so they destroyed the cotton crops. Railroad stations were so crowded with migrants that guards were called to keep order. The flood of migrants northward left crops back home to dry and spoil. So these were like the cotton fields here. And so the boll weevil actually attacked the cotton, which killed the cotton. So many people who lived in the South were picking cotton. And so when the boll weevil came, they had to go look for other jobs. And so they migrated, which meant they what? Moved, okay? And segregation divided the South. Does anybody know what segregation means? Segregation?
Segregation means when people are apart.
Good answer, good answer. So, the black newspaper told of better housing and jobs in the North, which is why so many families decided that they would move to the North. So they migrated, moved, and they caught trains, and they went to the North. Families often gathered to discuss whether to go north or to stay south. The promise of better housing in the North could not be ignored. So many migrants arrived in Chicago. That's one of the pictures that Jacob Lawrence drew.
Oh, very nice.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So they went to Chicago. So they didn't just come north, they went northwest, Chicago and other cities, and labored in the steel mills and on the railroads. They just kept coming. See the people coming from the South, they moving from the South, moving to. So these are Jacob Lawrence's pictures, okay? These are the paintings he drew as an artist. Southern landowners, stripped of cheap labor, tried to stop the migration by, guess what they did? Jailed people, came up with labor agreements. Black and white Southern leaders met to discuss ways to improve conditions to stop the flow of workers to the North. Although life in the North was better, it was not ideal. Many migrants moved to Pittsburgh, which was a great industrial center at that time. So that's a picture of them moving to the North. Although they were promised better housing in the North, some families were forced to live in overcrowded and unhealthy quarters. Nobody wants to live in unhealthy quarters, right? No. Long-time African-American residents lived in the North did not welcome the newcomers from the South and often treated them with disdain. What does disdain mean? What does disdain mean?
I think disdain means they was treated rudely.
Very good. That's a good, you have another definition? What?
I think it means they was treating them unfair.
Unfair is a good word.
I think unstaying means like that they treat them very like unnecessary, like they don't even exist.
Ooh, boy, that's a harsh disdain word. Okay. The migrants had to rely on each other. The storefront church was a welcoming place in the center of their lives in joy and in sorrow. Black professionals, there were black professionals then, such as doctors and lawyers, soon followed their parents and clients north. Female workers were among the last to leave. So these are really, this book is Jacob Lawrence actually helping to tell the story through his own art. So that's why this is such a good book, because he not only tells the story, he draws the story as well. Okay? Life in the North brought many challenges, but the migrants' lives had changed for the better. The children were able to go to school, and their parents gained their freedom to vote. How many people know if their parents vote? Okay, how many people go, how many of you all go with your parents when they do vote? Okay, that's a good thing, okay? And how many people know it's important to be free? So when you, migration means what?
To move from one place
What does immigrate mean?
Immigrant means that there's a person from the other country that comes to another country.
And we love them, right?
My
Right?
dad was an immigrant, but he became a citizen because he came from El Salvador to America.
Okay. So there's a Statue of Liberty that stands in the harbor of New York. What is the statue?
Liberty.
Statue of Liberty. Does anybody know what it says?
It said the 14th of July.
No.
It had a date.
It's yes.
The Statue of Liberty stands for freedom.
It says, "Bring me, you're hungry, you're tired, you're poor." It really stands for the fact that we're all immigrants in some way. Unless you're an American Indian, you came from another country. Your heritage will tell you that. And so our country is welcoming to all immigrants because you never know where somebody comes from. So when they come into your country, and especially when they're poor, we want to welcome them, we want to love them, and we want them to be good citizens. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for listening. So hopefully you'll get a chance to read the book as well. There is a story about Jacob Lawrence who tried to tell his life story through art. And does anybody have any questions? Ooh, boy, a lot of questions here. Okay, so let's start right here.
What college did you go to?
Morgan State University. You're going to Morgan State University?
My dad went to Morgan
You shouldn't do that.
State.
It was a great college. I also, I was a cheerleader at Morgan State.
How did it feel when people was voting for you?
Let me just say this. I'm excited to be the mayor of Baltimore. And there were a lot of people who ran for mayor, but I'm excited that the people of the city voted to make me the mayor of the city. Yes, sir. Yes.
What was your plan for Baltimore when you became mayor?
To make sure that when you grow up, you have a great life in Baltimore, that you'll want to stay here, that we reduce crime, that we create great communities, and we invest in everybody across our city. And we realize that when we lift the least, we lift all of us. Yes, sir.
How did you feel when all the stuff like the shootings and stuff? How did you want to make it better?
So he asked a question around a lot of the shootings in our city. So what that says to me is that we have people in our city that don't value life, and we need everybody to value life because we want everybody to feel safe when they walk through their neighborhoods and their communities. And so we've held meetings to have a conversation with people in our neighborhoods because we have to ask the question, you know, how do we get involved in helping to solve the problem? So I would like to see us have safety patrols in our schools so our young people understand the importance of being safe and being in productive environments. I want to have meetings in our communities and neighborhoods so that people understand the value of life. And we know that police are really there to protect and serve, but we want our police to respect our communities and our communities to respect our police. Okay, I'm going to take two more questions. Let me see, a question back here because I haven't heard from you. And let me see, somebody I haven't heard from right here. Okay, go ahead.
What did you think of saving the world?
Saving the world?
The people's lives in Baltimore.
Well, I'm focused on saving the lives of everybody in Baltimore, but more importantly, it's not just about, it's about saving lives, it's about having great schools, it's about having opportunities for people to go to work every day. Yes, right here.
How was it? Have you ever met Barack Obama, and how did it feel when you met him?
I have met President Barack Obama, and it felt great. I've also met his wife, and that felt wonderful. Had an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with her and him, so it was a wonderful feeling. And how many people have this book? Okay, so in your packets today, you'll get a copy of my book, Healthy Holly, which is one of the books that I created for children to help them have healthy living styles. How many people eat good? Not too much candy. Not too much
I
candy.
eat more fruit than candy.
More fruit than candy. How many people eat vegetables?
I do sometimes, but I just eat broccoli.
What's your favorite vegetable?
Ooh. Corn.
Corn.
Broccoli.
Carrots. Carrots make you pretty.
Celery.
Celery.
Celery too. Carrot.
Carrots make you pretty.
Corn.
Corn.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
And cabbage.
And cabbage. I'm glad you added that cabbage.
Mixed vegetables.
Mixed vegetable.
I like the spinach.
Spinach makes you strong.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. That's a different vegetable.
Broccoli.
Broccoli's good.
Tomatoes.
Tomato is a fruit. Did you know that?
Yeah. Tomatoes.
Tomato is a fruit.
Because it has seeds.
But oftentimes when you go to the food market, isn't the tomato right by the vegetables?
Yes.
Yep. So sometimes we get confused. Nope, it's a fruit. Spinach is good. Keep you strong.
Spinach.
Spinach, keep you strong.
I like salad too.
Salad. Broccoli and carrots.
I eat broccoli, carrots, celery, and lettuce.
Wow.
Broccoli, carrots, and spinach.
And one more here and one more here.
Spinach, corn on the cob,
Corn on the cob.
broccoli and spinach.
Broccoli and spinach. So here's what I need you all to do. I need you to eat healthy, fruits and vegetables, and I also need you to exercise. How many people exercise? All right, I need you to exercise at least 5 times a week, okay? All right, thank you for having me. Thank you.